Hey guys, it's Hayley from TTS here, looking at the School of Growth with Sam, my lovely CEO. The reason why we wanted to do this particular meeting / interview is because for me, coming into the industry as a graduate, I felt completely out of my depths, completely unsure what the industry is like. And so when I kind of came forward to Sam, we started talking about how, obviously TTS's pillars are personal growth and education. We thought about how we can align this kind of pillar system in terms of my learning about the industry.
We did.
So yeah, we wanted to, particularly myself, we wanted to inspire and educate people, especially grads and interns, about potential expectations of the industry, as well as what you are expected to do, of course. So I hope you don't mind me asking you a few questions.
I would love you to. This girl, seriously, knowledge sharing.
So yeah, for me, my personal experiences were pretty much, I came into university not knowing any skills whatsoever, and I was really concerned about being the best designer or photographer I could possibly be, and then getting an industry job. So I was really concerned about the expectations of the industry. So from an industry standpoint, what are the expectations, I guess, or what are the things that you look out for, in particular graduates or interns coming into the industry?
Great question. You know what? Sorry guys, it isn't just about the degree. It's about the fit for the culture, number one. And can I see this person growing within our organisation and contributing to our team, and our team enabling them to grow as well? And self-awareness. It's about being able to pick up on things, to be self-aware of how you could become individually better, personal leadership. It's all the stuff that we call the unspoken curriculum.
Yeah.
You don't get taught at uni, and this is why we're having this convo, right? Because we're going to make something around this unspoken curriculum.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to do with the industry, and I was always taught that when you have a internship or stuff like that, or an interview, they always look for your resume and they always look for someone who ticks the boxes. But how do we know, obviously, what the boxes are, what the people are looking out for? And I know we had the class to do with uni, and we were asking so many questions because our uni lecturer was discussing about, what are the unspoken things in the industry? What are, what are expecting from clients? How to deal with clients and stuff like that. Stuff we weren't really taught in university. We were taught to, tick the boxes that they gave us with projects, but in terms of creating the boxes that we had to tick, what does the industry expect from grads, in terms of these personal values that you kind of seek? For TTS in particular, or even from a business perspective, what kind of values do you seek for grads and interns?
Yeah, okay. So to answer the first question, if that was the first question, it's around ticking all the boxes before you apply for a job.
Yeah.
You guys don't have to tick all the boxes, by the way. I've hired plenty of people that have not ticked the boxes, but I've hired them based on their personal values, the depth of the depth of knowledge and research they've done in a company, and coming up with fresh ideas. Have you thought about this? Really going the extra mile. They could be. I've let people go in their first year, and they could be the best salespeople, the best graphic designers, but if they don't fit into culture, and most organisations think like that, then thank you, next. It's a people business, and it's a relationship business, and it's showing you care. You care about the brand, you care about the people, you care about the company, and you're always thinking outside the box, learning what else can I bring to the table, and asking really great questions.
Yeah, I think being adaptable, sorry to interrupt, but being adaptable within a role, you can tick as many boxes as you can, but once you're in the industry, I feel like there's so much more to be expected from you, because with graduating, it was kind of okay, I have the foundations now, but how can I build on these foundations? And I feel like learning through this marketing sort of School of Growth program, I feel like I've learned so much that I'm probably more than a graphic designer. I'm I can go into marketing, I can go into sales, but I can still be passionate about graphic design and use those skills in that industry as well.
100%. I think it is versatility, adaptability, and yourself, graphic design. Viv, who's also a graphic designer, we've got you on community management, and that gives you an insight into the people as well, which will then enable, I would imagine, your graphic design to have a lot more colour to it and a lot more context to it, because you're understanding how people engage, how they communicate, how they connect, and the more you can put your hand up for things that you feel uncomfortable doing. One of our, she was an intern, Caroline, and then she came on board as an employee, and she wanted to grow further in personal branding, and she ran an event, and she put her hand up and said, no, I'm going to run it. I was in Sydney. I was like, I'm not going to be there to support you. He said, I'm going to do it. I'm nervous, but I'm going to do it. And that's what you want to. That's what we look for when we take on grads.
Yeah.
Are they resilient? Are they going to put their hand up? Are they going to fail forwards and not take themselves too seriously?
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Sorry to spill over my words, but yeah, there's so much expectation as well going into the industry once you finally have that job. What are the kind of things that you expect from a graduate or an intern within their first day, week or month in terms of how they work and what they produce?
Number one, rock up 15 minutes before you're meant to, at least. So
I've been told that too.
So be punctual, ask lots of questions, and be prepared to fail. Like, I much prefer for people to make mistakes in their first week and you know, not do them moving forwards.
Yeah.
But be really curious about the organisation, be really curious about the people you're working with, and be interesting, not interesting.
Oh,
like, that's a good
that's
tip.
also a good thing too if you're an interesting person. Yeah.
Always be interested before interesting. That's what I learned. I was always trying to be interesting to everyone. Look at me. And then I became curious and became interested in them. And that's when I really started to see growth within myself as a leader, but also organisation picked up to another level.
Yeah, I think moving back to the point of failure, that was one of the most comforting things I think I found out when I got into the job. I was adamant that, like, if I made a mistake within the first week, it was almost like a cross system, like 3 strikes and you're out. But in reality, people were expecting me to fail, not because they wanted me to go down, but they wanted me to learn. And like hearing Marisa, who's one of our amazing teammates, she was talking about, like, you know, how she learned from her failure, how to be open with failure, because if you're so worried about failure, you're not going to share your, you know, opportunities. You're not going to take, you know, things into your own hands and kind of follow your dreams and patterns, I guess, if, you know, of trying to avoid the cliches. But I think that was something that really stuck with me, because I was so afraid to sometimes show my work if it wasn't up to standard, because you don't have that safety net at work when you did at uni. So I think failing forward is something really good to kind of hold on to.
And you will always fail in life, right? I'm actually excited about failing because I'm like, I'm not going to do that again. But that's where you get massive growth.
100%.
I would never be where I am today. I would never be having this conversation with you if I hadn't have failed multiple times, over and over again. Not the same failures, but learning and going, I can become smarter now. How can I help somebody else shortcut that and not do what I did? And that's life experience, and that's growth, and that's what we want in an intern. That's what we want as you graduate and you first move into your new job. Like, people understand that. We were all 22, we were all 21. You know, we all came out of uni, or maybe not uni, but we all came from school and moved into something. And the expectation of being perfect is just, it's not there, because it's unachievable.
In terms of failing forward and kind of making mistakes, how do you personally deal with either someone who's made mistakes or you yourself haven't made a mistake?
So if I make a mistake, I'll put my hand up, like I did in TGIM, and said, I made a mistake. I actually shared something a client shared with me, and I shared it to a team member incorrectly. But I'm just wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very open. I say I made a mistake, but then I'll never make it again. Well, I'll try not to, and I'll learn from it. And I think that then gives the team permission to make mistakes, but then learn from them also. Yeah. If a team member makes a mistake, again, like, we're all human. Let's not take it too seriously, but why do we make this mistake, and how can we not do it again? Is there something that we can do to support you? Is a system maybe not in place that needs to be in place? Yeah. But if it happens consistently, then I've got a problem. we dig down into the why.
Exactly. And why do you think making mistakes is so important? I guess with obviously the failing forward, but like in terms of personal growth as well, why do you think it's important?
Just grounds you. It humanises you. It's like you don't take yourself too seriously, and you pick yourself up. You graze your knees, you pick yourself up, and you're better on the next round. So again, that's why in your first week, in your first year, like, you're going to make mistakes. So set the expectation now. You're going to make plenty of mistakes. Yeah. Just look at it as growth. Just don't keep making those mistakes over and over again, the same ones.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I've kind of learned throughout these couple of months in terms of making mistakes and things like that is that no one got to where they have been or where they are now, so CEOs, executives, stuff like that, without making a single or at least a horrific mistake. So to think that you could go throughout an entire career without making a mistake kind of makes me think that you will never progress. You will never progress in your role. So for graduates to understand that it's okay to make mistakes and you will screw up from time to time, it's just all part of the learning process, and you will not progress without making mistakes.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
permission to make mistakes your first year. Go.
I love it. But yeah, so kind of moving back to the School of Growth and stuff like that, and how for me personally, I saw the opportunity to better my design and the why behind the design, because I felt I didn't understand from a marketing and sales perspective why this design needed to happen or why this advertising needed to happen. So kind of understanding that there needs to be room for growth and opportunity as well as adaptability. I think it's really important to people, especially who are young in the industry, to kind of take those opportunities, especially if it's not within their field. Because when I kind of came out, and especially there's a lot of expectations with kind of graduates, especially within a communication design degree, they expect that they're going to go into a studio, but design is everywhere. So I think being adaptable within any role, especially kind of marketing, it's important. So for you to see from a graduate, from my perspective, how important do you think it is to see someone being adaptable in their role, especially if they're coming from a completely different background?
100%. You know, it's so important. And look, I had a degree in physical education and science and a BEd degree. Like, look at me now. So, you know, to be able to test and learn and find out what you may like and what you may not like, but you don't know what you don't know. So putting your hand up, we had a discussion earlier where I said, Hayley, let's look at some Facebook ads, let's look at some analytics. You know, that might be something that you suddenly have a love for and grow down that pathway. Or you might look at analytics and then integrate that with your design.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities. So I always encourage every single person to try something they feel a bit uncomfortable with, because you never know. You might just fall in love with it and move and change your career pathway off the back of it.
Yeah, I kind of, when I was going through this journey as such of growth, and I kind of was like, if you fear failure, you'll fear missed opportunities, you'll miss out on a lot of things. And I think for me, it was a kind of a scary step to take it in this role of sales and marketing, but now that I've kind of done it, I can see so many doors opening up to things that I don't think that were possible for me before. And even like, I didn't know I was going to really like client relations. I knew I was always a people person, but now that I kind of understand the marketing side of it, I feel like I can give my clients this extra level of care, that I can understand that this brand is not only going to look good, but it's going to perform well. So I think being adaptable within your role can always add something to what you've already got.
Even today, like, you were not selling, but you were social selling when you were talking about one of our products, one of our clients' products, and because you believed in it and you've been designing with the client and you know the story, it was like you were selling it, but you didn't think you were selling it. There's an element of sales there too.
It's almost like it's second nature now, because with our kind of School of Growth, it's mostly me sitting in on conversations and just hearing things and seeing how the world works in that industry, rather than just like, here's a sheet of paper, let's write it down. So I feel like I've almost secondary adapted, and kind of it's just gone into my head. Like, it's just like through osmosis potentially, but like it's been like a vital experience just to see someone in their role, in their zone, and kind of take away like, what can I add to it? So I think seeing it from a graduate point of view, I would always suggest looking at your peers, suggesting things, and don't be afraid to kind of put in your 5 cents, because even if you're wrong, you'll
100%.
understand why you're wrong. So yeah, I feel like don't be scared just because you're a graduate or an intern.
That's such a good point. I think here in Australia, with the whole tall poppy syndrome, back in the UK, and Patrick, who's filming, would attest to this too. Like, you have to make a noise because there's so many people. You have to make a valuable noise, but you have to make a voice, or you'll lose out. Whereas over here, it's, stay quiet. But no, like, definitely for me, when you vocalise for the first couple of weeks your thoughts and opinions, I'm open to taking everyone's on, and I'll make an informed decision whether I push forward with that or not. But that's very encouraging to see that from a young graduate actually having their own opinion and bringing it with context as well, and conviction. So guys, confidence and certainty are two of the most attractive human traits. So even if you're not feeling it inside, like, push yourself out of your comfort zone, ask those questions, contribute your ideas, and don't keep this zipped, because we want to hear from graduates. You guys are the future, and we can learn a lot from you. I'm learning so much from Hayley.
I feel, if you are so unsure that you're wrong, just say it. And then if someone tells you you're wrong, at least you know for sure that you're wrong. And even, if someone goes, actually, no, that's a really good point, you've learned and you've grown from that experience. And kind of moving on from this kind of talk of advice and learning from experience, what was probably the most valuable advice that someone gave you potentially when you were starting out, or even now, to help you grow and kind of see the industry from a different perspective, I guess?
2 things. First one, help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. It's always like, how can I help? How can I help this person grow? Because if I can help them grow, I grow. And the second one for me, which is always stand true, is would you rather be a king or a maker of kings? And I'm like, in the past, I used to be a king. I used to be like, this is my business, or I've got this idea, I'm going to run with it. And I didn't get much growth from it until I went, hang on a minute, how can I educate other people to grow them?
Yeah.
And as I grow them, then I grow myself too. And our company tripled when I literally took on that one quote, that one piece. So for me, it's about caring for others and helping them grow, because then off the back of that, you will grow.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I think that's such a valuable kind of piece of advice to give to someone, because at uni you're always striving to be the best person you can be, but when you come to an industry, you're not working by yourself as such, you may be working in a team. So for you, would you rather stand out or would you rather uplift your teammates? I think is something important to consider.
And that's what lots of leaders will look for. Like, are they an individual or are they a team player? Because we want team players, and that's culture and that's family, and there's a lot of companies out there that look for that team culture. It's important.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me your advice and letting me kind of use my voice as a platform, because I feel like so many graduates or interns, there's so many misconceptions, so many unspoken rules about the industry that we kind of go in blind, and uni can only give us so much life advice. I feel like getting it from the source is just that kind of like weight off the shoulders, something like that. Just so I hope that people who are listening, or people who are getting involved, that they can at least gain something from this, or even have their input and even challenge what we're saying, or put in some more advice, because I think sharing the knowledge around is something really important, and I think bridging the gap between graduates and the industry is so important, especially in this day and age.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
I'm going to give you a high five, because we wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for Hayley's idea, because as an employer, we don't think like that. We just go, oh, this intern didn't work out. This one did. This graduate was awesome. This one wasn't. Why was it? So this is Hayley's initiative. She's put it forward. I totally back it. Believe in Hayley. And what Hayley is sharing, truly take on board something, because you're sharing a lot of value and it's well needed right now.
Great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, treasure.
See you later, folks.